So it's Christmas Day and the fifth day in Star Wars week. And this day it's time for The Empire Strikes Back. The fan favorite, and the one in which Han Solo has a lightsaber. So that he can save Luke Skywalker for a bit. And that was the reason I put Luke Skywalker's saber in Han's hand, because I couldn't think of anything else to do for this one. This film is, once again, it's a great film. Though I never really understood why it's the fan favorite. Because as good as it is, and it's really good. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like it has more problems than, say, A New Hope has. Because while Luke's story is actually very, very fun to follow, as from Hoth to Dagobah to Bespin, the story of Han Solo and Leia is not that fun to follow. Because basically, what this film does is it splits up the story into two different stories going side by side, and that's fine. That's what Star Wars Episode 2 did, and Episode 3, and Return of the Jedi does that as well, to an extent. But the problem is that Han and Leia don't really get anything interesting to do until right before Luke needs to join them. Like, it's meant to be character development, and we're meant to like just be interested in what Han and Leia are doing as they're hiding from the Empire, but it's just kind of boring, really. And it'd be one thing if the character development between the two and like the build-up of romance between the two was good, but holy shit, if Han Solo was a douchebag in A New Hope, he is worse in this film. He is totally Captain Friendzone to begin with, and just the amount of times he will like grab Leia and hold on to her, despite her multiple times saying like "let go of me" and stuff like that in this film. And like it's meant to be endearing, I guess, but I'm just sitting there like, this is kind of uncomfortable. And you know, it's weird because like I like Han Solo a lot, but like, damn, this film made him a bit hard to enjoy. And that's really my biggest issue with the film, is that Han and Leia are such a big part of the first two acts, and those two parts aren't really that good or interesting. But with that said, that doesn't undermine how great the rest is. The beginning scene on Hoth, I'm a bit on. I really liked it as a kid. I loved it as a kid. But I feel these days all people really watch it for is because they remember Shadows of the Empire. Because it's like, oh man, when you rope up the AT-AT and it falls down, I'm like, yeah, that thing we now do in every fucking Star Wars game. I mean, yeah, it's cool, but it's the one thing people remember and care about from the Hoth scene. And the Hoth scene is pretty long. But, I mean, fine. And it's like small things like the Millennium Falcon just like taking off right before Vader and him not being able to stop that, and then like an hour later Yoda is like, "Hey Luke, you should bring up that X-wing from the swamp." And it's like, if Luke is expected to do that, like as the young guy who hasn't even been properly trained and is just starting, why couldn't Anakin just grab the Falcon? Like, there's so many small inconsistencies within itself, I find it. And, I mean, it's, like, that works, but, yeah, that is a Dagobah scene. And the Dagobah scene is perfect. The Dagobah scene is perfect. Oh my god, Yoda. Yoda is so funny. Yoda is so wonderful. I love Yoda. like every line delivered by Yoda is just the best, and you have all those memorable moments and him stealing Luke's flashlight and like ooh. I mean, it's all an act to test Luke's patience, and that's actually really clever. Because of course, the moment that breaks, he goes back into serious Jedi. I am now. That was more Palpatine than Yoda. Why can't I do Yoda when I'm talking in this vlogs? I'm not that bad at Yoda, I think. Find someone you have. That's a little better. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Yoda scene is amazing. But then you have the part where Luke enters the dark side of the cave, and he sees Darth Vader and all that stuff. And that scene is good too, although the slow motion is painful to the eyes. Oh god, that scene's good. It's really good. Although I kind of feel like the foreshadowing of when Luke decapitates Vader and sees himself, because Luke is Vader's son. I'm not gonna say Luke is Vader's father, like I apparently said 2 days ago. But like that's the foreshadowing, like, oh, your family, and I get that. But it's like, it's so close to the, no, Luke, I am your father, that you don't even really get time to think about that scene until the actual reveal happens. Like, almost like if, it's almost like the I am your father reveal should have been either in the next film, but that wouldn't really work, but like, maybe the dark cave of Luke fighting Darth Vader and seeing himself should have been on half, or preferably a movie earlier, like, so we actually got to there think and like theorize on it, because here's like, oh, this thing happens. I wonder what that. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. But that brings us to the fight between Anakin and Luke, which is superb. Oh, it's so good. It looks great still, and I don't really know what else to say. It's really fucking good in every sense of the word. Like, the choreography is great. I love the fact that you can see there's this subtle little difference between Luke and Anakin. Like, Luke is using two hands with the lightsaber, and Anakin is just deflecting. He's basically just defending himself for the most part with just one hand. He's like, and then like, and that's to show like Anakin is much more secure in this. And then Luke tries one hand. And then like goes for Anakin's approach, and since he's not trained, he immediately loses his lightsaber. And it's like those small touches are just beautiful, and we get to see like it was the first time we got to see Force powers being involved in a lightsaber fight, and it's so cool. And then you have the end, of course, with this fella going. He holds up his hand like this and goes, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. And of course, like, that's a for its time groundbreaking plot twist, I guess. That's the thing though, with like telling people to watch the films in order of release these days. I feel like if someone somehow avoided every spoiler of Star Wars, of all the 7 films, and watched them in order 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7. I feel that Darth Vader being Luke's father is something they would call really early on. Not because of the films giving it away, but because it's such a common trope these days. And that's not the fault of the film, but like I wonder if like that would even work today, or if that's forever lost. I don't know. Luke is bloody because he got hit by a wampa. Were there any major changes to this episode from the restored? The enhanced version? I don't think so. Well, there's the wampa, the new wampa creature, which looks better, in my opinion. Oh yeah, they have some extra Bespin scenes, which I think looks good. Boba Fett is in this film, of course. I think he's Is he named for the first time, maybe? And once again, he does a bunch of nothing. There's one point where he raises his gun to shoot Chewbacca, and Vader's like, no. He does get to fire at Luke, but he misses. Now, he misses on purpose, but, like, it's still like, okay, so we haven't even seen if this guy can hit something yet. Like, it's... I will never understand how this guy got popular. Like, popular enough to get the EU extra stories. Because I know about EU extra stories and how badass he was in those. I know, but, like, he shouldn't have gotten those. It's just, he's such a fucking worthless nothing character. Then what? Let's see. Luke loses his hand. Yeah, it's pretty much, I think that's pretty much from... Oh, no, fuck. How did I forget? Lando Calrissian. Billy D. Williams. Oh, he's a delight. I mean, a disgusting person, much like Han Solo, but he's a delight. Oh, he's... BDW is, like, just so fucking awesome in the role. Like, I'm so glad he reprises that for Star Wars Rebels. I mean, I don't know what to say about him. He's just... When he comes out with his cape, he's like, he's just... he's so cool. I loved him as a kid and I love him now as well. I wish I had a Lando Calrissian figure, but I only found episode 6 and I don't want him with a big mask on his head. So yeah, he's badass. That's pretty much it for like the new characters thing. There's I need to talk about the scene that as a kid disappointed me the most. So the Millennium Falcon is stranded inside of a meteor, and they realize that the tunnel they're in is actually alive and it's a monster, and they need to flee it. And that's all fine. So they fly out of it, and then we see. Let's see. Then we basically just get a shot of this. Yeah, the tunnel monster thingy. As a kid, like fucking 5 years old or whatever I was when I first saw it, I was like, "That's it. That's the monster." It looks like a sock puppet, and I mean it is a sock puppet. But it's such a because like the build up. It's like for a second it gets maybe interesting because you're like, okay, something's happening, cool, and then like the reveal is like, that's it. It looks so boring. Which is a shame because the effects in the film is really good. Like the puppetry is amazing on Yoda, and all the starships look better. The blaster and lightsaber effects look better. Like it's just overall a very pretty film. Most of the added new stuff is very non-intrusive too. I mean, there's some obvious CGI on Bespin, but I kind of like how it looks because like you just get a better feel of like how large Cloud City is. So yeah, I like Episode 5 a lot. I don't think it's as good as A New Hope. Although, it easily could have been. I would say it easily could have been better than A New Hope. And like I said, it's still a really good film. It's absolutely a great film. And yeah, we get to see the Emperor for the first time, which in the original was played by... Oh, what's her name? I don't remember her name. Or the voice who dubbed the Emperor. But yeah, the Emperor had a very different design at first before Ian McDiarmid, is that it? Replaced him, and of course it's been reinserted. I prefer that because I like the consistency, but I know some people don't. Although I will admit the old Emperor was creepy with the chimpanzee eyes and stuff. Yeah, that's the Empire Strikes Back. In Sweden, it was called Rymdimperiet slår tillbaka, which is almost a literal translation. It means the Empire Strikes Back, but we added the word space in front of Empire, so it's the Space Empire Strikes Back. Because we need to be clear, really. I mean, it's the Space Empire, right? I don't know. But yeah, until next time, here's Han Solo with Luke's lightsaber. and I thought they smelled bad on the inside.